What is aspartame? Aspartame is an artificial sweetener and a popular sugar substitute. It is present in low-calorie food and drinks and some medications. It is available in the United States under the brand names NutraSweet and Equal. It is an ingredient often found in diet drinks, chewing gum, gelatin, ice cream, dairy products, toothpaste, even breakfast cereal. Aspartame is an odorless powder that is white and is approximately 200 times sweeter than sugar. This means that a very small amount is needed to give foods and beverages a sweet flavor. The ingredients of aspartame include aspartic acid and phenylalanine. Both are naturally occurring amino acids, also known as the building blocks of proteins. Aspartic acid is produced naturally by your body, and phenylalanine is an essential amino acid that you get from food. Despite its extensive use and popularity, aspartame has become a source of controversy in recent years, with several studies claiming the sweetener has adverse health effects. Is aspartame safe? The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, approved aspartame for use in food and drink in 1981. According to the FDA, over 100 studies have shown aspartame to be safe for most people. On July 14, the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, declared aspartame possibly carcinogenic to humans for the first time. However, agency officials said there was only limited evidence that aspartame can cause human cancer, so it was listing the sweetener as an IARC Group 2B carcinogen. Substances in that category are described as possibly carcinogenic to humans. Since 1981, WHO regulators have said aspartame is safe within accepted daily limits. An adult weighing 60 kilograms, 132 pounds, would have to drink 12 to 36 cans of diet soda, depending on the amount of aspartame in the beverage, daily to be at risk. Class 2B carcinogen. According to the International Food Information Council, the FDA has set an acceptable daily intake, ADI, for aspartame of 50 milligrams per kilogram of body weight per day. Most people will not reach these acceptable daily intake amounts. If a person weighs 68 kilograms, they would need to drink around 19 cans of soda or consume over 85 packs of aspartame every day to exceed the acceptable daily intake. In 2022, a study in France among 100,000 adults concluded that people consuming larger amounts of artificial sweeteners, including aspartame, had a slightly higher risk of cancer. An early 2000 study by the Ramazzini Institute in Italy reported some cancers in mice and rats were linked to aspartame. However, the first study could not prove that aspartame caused the increased cancer risk, and questions have been raised about the methodology of the second study. Effects on body weight. Aspartame contains 4 calories per gram, which is a similar amount to sugar, but aspartame is around 200 times sweeter than sugar. This means that only a tiny amount of aspartame is necessary to sweeten foods and drinks. For this reason, people often use it in weight loss diets. However, a 2017 review of studies found no evidence that the low-calorie sweeteners aspartame, sucralose, and stevia were effective for weight management. Studies in the review monitored participants over several years. Researchers found a link between increased body weight and waist circumference and a regular intake of these sweeteners. The 2017 review also found evidence that suggested those who consume sweeteners regularly might be at greater risk of developing heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. Effects on appetite. Some research suggests that aspartame may affect body weight by increasing people's appetite, which can lead to greater food consumption. For example, a 2015 animal study found that aspartame increased appetite in rats. The review suggested that sweeteners may raise appetite by disrupting the signaling process that usually occurs when a person eats foods with more calories. Artificial sweeteners such as aspartame provide sweetness without providing the body with energy, and this effect on the body may stimulate appetite. Sweet tastes typically signal to the body that food is entering the gut. The body then expects to receive calories and signals when eating should stop by making a person feel full or satiated. A person experiences the same sweet taste when they consume sweeteners, but the body receives fewer calories than it might otherwise expect. If this happens regularly, according to the theory, the body unlearns the association between sweet tastes and calories. This reversal means that high-calorie foods will no longer trigger feelings of fullness. This can lead to overeating. Certain amino acids in aspartame, such as phenylalanine, may also have an effect on appetite. Effects on metabolism. A 2015 study found that high levels of aspartame may cause other changes in the body, such as changes in serum and oxidative stress markers, and can lead to type 2 diabetes in rats. A later review from 2016 further discussed the link between low-calorie sweeteners and metabolic disease. It suggested that regular, long-term intake of sweeteners may disrupt the balance and diversity of bacteria living within the gut. Animal studies show that this type of disruption can result in glucose intolerance, which is a known risk factor for type 2 diabetes. Another study from 2016 investigated the effects of certain sugars and sweeteners on people's glucose tolerance. Researchers found a link between aspartame use and greater glucose intolerance among those with obesity. None of the sugars and sweeteners in the study had any negative effect on people with a healthy weight, though. These studies suggest that regular intake of aspartame could increase the risk of glucose intolerance, particularly in people who may already be overweight. Health risks. A report from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services assessed a number of studies looking at the potential risks of aspartame. The report suggests a possible link between aspartame and some hematopoietic cancers in males, although researchers require further evidence from human studies. Limited evidence exists showing a potential risk between aspartame and preterm delivery, so there is no clear conclusion on aspartame consumption and headaches. Some research suggests that aspartame increases the risk of certain types of cancer, including lymphoma, leukemia, urinary tract tumors, and neurological tumors, type 2 diabetes, preterm delivery, toxicity in the kidneys, toxic liver disease, harmful changes to the salivary glands. Should you avoid aspartame? There appears to be no scientific evidence that aspartame poisoning is a risk. If people have a condition called phenylketonuria, PKU, high levels of aspartame may be toxic for them. This is because aspartame contains an amino acid called phenylalanine. Phenylketonuria, PKU, is a genetic metabolic disorder that increases levels of the essential amino acid known as phenylalanine in the blood. People with PKU are unable to metabolize phenylalanine properly, so they will need to avoid or limit their intake of it. Phenylalanine is one of 2 amino acids that make up aspartame. Aspartame provides significantly lower amounts of phenylalanine than everyday food sources, such as meat, fish, eggs, and dairy products. People with PKU need to monitor all dietary sources of phenylalanine to avoid toxic levels. As a result, all products containing phenylalanine in the U.S. carry a label, alternatives to aspartame. Those wishing to limit their intake of aspartame may want to try an alternative natural sweetener, such as honey, maple syrup, agave nectar, stevia leaves, monk fruit, and molasses. It is still important to limit intake of natural sweeteners, as they have the same health risks as excess refined sugar, such as weight gain, diabetes, and tooth decay. Here's a question for you. What is the daily acceptable limit of aspartame that was set by the FDA? 40 milligrams per kilogram, 50 milligrams per kilogram, 60 milligrams per kilogram, 45 milligrams per kilogram. Type your answer in the comments section below. Self-care advocate. I talk a lot more about the impact of sweeteners on the body, including alternative sweeteners such as aspartame, saccharin, high fructose corn syrup, sucralose, in my book, Self-Care Advocate. In it, you'll learn why these are commonly used in many diet foods and products. You'll also learn of their impact on your overall health. Grab your free copy using the link below. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my other videos. Please like and subscribe.